So, have you ever gone through life where you've been in a situation where you love someone so dearly and so deeply, but they just keep going down this path that leads them further and further away from you? And you feel like you've done everything that you can. You've loved them, you've screamed at them, you've cried, you've had other people get involved, you tried interventions, you've tried all of these things to try to get someone back in line and on the straight path and in a healthy situation. And it just can't happen. It just doesn't happen. And you're at a loss. You throw up your hands, you try to figure it out, but you just don't know what else to do. And I want to say this. Yesterday, we talked about the prodigal son, and we talked about that prodigal, that guy who did all of those things, right? They went down the wrong path. They did what they wanted to do. They were warned. They were loved. They were screamed at. All those things, right? All of this stuff happened in their lives, and all of a sudden, one day, they were just gone. Today, I want to look at the second person in that story, the father. The father loved his son, right? He was going to give him an inheritance and it was going to be awesome. And his son rebelled and went in a different direction. But here's the thing. The father never gave up. Even though his son wished he was dead and said, give me all my inheritance now. I wish you were dead. Give it to me. I'm out of here. I can't stand being around you. Your face is hideous, right? I got to get out of here. You're just too overbearing. And he takes off. And the father grants him his wish. He lets him go. And he goes out. And here's the thing that gets me about the father in this story. He never gives up. He waits. He still loves the son. Even in the midst of his sin, even in the midst of his rebellion, even in the midst of all the things that he's doing that goes against the father never stops loving the son. Now, he might not be happy with him. He may not condone what he's doing, but he never stops loving him. And every day he's out on that front porch looking. He's looking at the road that leads back from where the son went. He's looking at the road that leads back home. He's waiting, right? And every day he's waiting until finally the day comes. He sees a speck on the horizon. And he's like, is that him? And the speck gets closer and he realizes it is my son and he is returning home. And he rushes to him. Now, fathers at that time, they didn't run, right? They walked majestically. They had robes with tassels on them. This father pulls his robe up to his knees and sprints down the road to his son, throws his arms around him and lavishes him with hugs and kisses and says, I love you. And the son starts to make excuses about he can be a slave, and the father's like, stop. You are my son. You are my beloved. I love you more than anything. And you see, that's the story of God and us. That is the story. A God who never stops loving us. No matter how far we go, no matter what we've done wrong, no matter how we've turned our back on him and everything else that we love, right? God is still there loving us and waiting for us to return. He'll never turn his back on us. May we remember that each and every day. May God continue to pour out his grace, mercy, and blessings on each and every one of us until we get to meet again. Amen. Amen.